So don't I feel like an idiot? Why does this keep happening? Okay, so I wanted to make a video earlier. I just wanted to wait for Spire Global to give some type of like some response or some like update. And what they do is they give an update on, oh, we launched these more like a constellation using SpaceX. Great. Okay, I know that the company is executing fine, but what is happening with the financials? Can you no guidance whatsoever? Whatever. Maybe I should just be like those other scammy YouTubers and just like delete my channel, and then that way I'll be like, I never said anything. No, I'm not gonna do that. Okay. This is just proof that like just because I have an opinion doesn't mean that you should follow it. I still believe that Spire Global is gonna be fine. There's like this. I don't know what's happening with the financials. I don't know what's happening. Maybe it's just really stupid conviction, but I think it should be okay. It was really weird how it actually closed. Is this correct? Yeah, it actually closed positive on the day, right? That's pretty cool. It closed up, what was that, like 50 cents? And it does look like there's this wedge pattern. I mean, you can kind of see, I don't want to draw it, too lazy to draw it, but like you do see the wedge pattern. The main big difference is I'm also pretty annoyed that we filled this gap, but like, did we really have to fill this gap? Was this necessary to fill? This gap was like, the people bought in at $12. Why do we have to? That just goes to show you, with technical analysis, just assume that things will be filled. Is this the right one? Just assume that things will be filled. Okay, okay, whatever. There's not really much stuff to update on Spire Global, so I just wanted to talk about how, I guess just the recent technical analysis on how like it's still going up, right? It's wedging up. Even on today when it was a really, really red day for most of the Qs, right? Tesla was down 5%. I think Nvidia was down 3%. The overall Nasdaq was down almost 2%. But you do have like your Rocket Labs and your Spires and your even SoFi wasn't like, it didn't drop as much as the Qs or like the overall broad market. And I wanted to talk about, since there's not that much stuff to talk about for Spire, I wanted to talk about SoFi and also the overall market. So let's talk about the overall market first. So what I believe as to why the market really fell is there's really no way, in my opinion, that tomorrow can be bullish. Given the recent jobs data and given just where we are going with rates, there's no way it can be bullish. Let's give the possibilities, right? What could happen tomorrow? One, Jay Powell could signal, surprise, no rate cuts, then the entire market just dies. Let's say it's 0.25, right? Then half the people are going to say, did you not just see the jobs data? Minus 800K? Like the revised jobs data, minus 800K. Are you serious? How does that even happen? How does that even happen? And then people are going to flip out. If it's 0.5%, then people are going to be like, oh, no, that means the rate, that's so much. The Fed predicts a recession. We're screwed. And then the market still tanks. I just don't see a possible outcome or a possible route in which we can see a positive spin on what happens at Jackson Hole. And that's kind of what I predicted would happen today. I actually predicted it would happen on Tuesday because I thought that he was speaking on Wednesday. And then I re-looked at it and I said, oh, and then I saw, oh, it's actually happening on Thursday. And then I bought puts. I bought puts on Wednesday. I bought puts on Thursday, and I did not buy puts today. So, oh no, sorry. I bought puts on Tuesday. I bought puts on Wednesday. I did not buy puts today because I am an idiot. I even got the dates wrong, right? That's how stupid I am. But that just goes to show you, don't listen to people on the internet because half the time they don't know what they're doing either. But I wanted to talk about how the overall market also relates to SoFi and why I'm so bullish on SoFi, even though I know that like everything I'm bullish on somehow turns into a pile of turd. So why do I think SoFi is the winner that takes all in every scenario in which this economy can take. So let's say rate cuts go down, right? The optimal scenario for all stocks, rate cuts come down, no recession, then all the small caps rocket to the moon, right? That's just basically that's Goldilocks scenario. And in that case, the bull case for SoFi is obvious, right? More loans, more mortgages, more all this stuff, right? Student loans coming back, other banks using SoFi, using Technisys, using Galileo, rocket ship emoji to the moon. Now, I want to talk about what happens if there's a recession. So, I want to make an analogy to, let's say a wildfire, right? In a wildfire, the fire burns down almost the entire forest, right? And it's only the strong ones that remain. So, I believe that SoFi, looking at their balance sheet, comparing it to other banks' balance sheets, SoFi's balance sheet is probably stronger than, I would say, even some of the banks that are too big to fail. Why do I believe this? Multiple things. I talked about this before, the increase in provision for credit losses for a number of the bigger banks. JP Morgan, Bank of America. Not saying that those are going to fall, but that means that they are signaling that the economy or the consumer is less likely to pay off their debts, right? Secondly, we look at Elon, the Twitter deal, right? Now it's named most likely the worst financial deal to have taken place since the Lehman Brothers. So the main banks that are in that deal, Morgan Stanley, Bank of America again. So I don't know about Bank of America, but something happened with Bank of America. Maybe they hired me for their analyst, but you see all these kind of, I wouldn't say it's a black swan, but all these bad events happening to all these other banks. You look at the commercial real estate loan, right? Those are all underwater. Everything's just going to poop. And you have SoFi, who's saying, "Oh, we're on the opposite side. We're home free. We project that our defaults are going to start decreasing from now on, not increasing. Whereas all the other people, they're increasing their provision for credit losses. They're projecting a weaker economy because they're loaning to these people that aren't as high quality as SoFi, right? Look at I'm so bearish on things like Affirm, on things like Klarma, all these buy now pay later things. No, no, do not loan when you see a possible recession. Do not loan to people who might not be able to pay for broccoli right now, right? Why are people invested in this thing? I swear it's gonna be a pump and a dump, and something's gonna happen. In my opinion, a quote unquote black swan event that quote unquote was not predicted. It's gonna happen within the next. I give it 3 months. I give it 3 months. I don't know. I give it 3 months. It's gonna happen in 4 months, just to spite me. But I give it 3 months. Now, SoFi they will benefit in a Goldilocks scenario, but I think that they will benefit even more in a hard landing, because when the milk is spilled, right? When there's a giant fire, when the giant catastrophe, only the strong and the well prepared and the stable will survive, unless of course the Federal Reserve deems certain banks as too big to fail, and then even the weak will survive as well. But I think that SoFi is definitely in a position where if these other banks fail due to whether it be commercial real estate problems, whether it be a bad investment in a don't offend half the internet, the bad investment in a person who decided it was a good idea to pay for a social media company that was way overvalued, whether it just be them paying, assuming too much risk in trying to earn more profit, right? I think that SoFi, because they've been so conservative to the point where the stock is still at a measly freaking $7, I think that conservatism, although it's currently hurting all the investors, although it's currently hurting management, even Noto has come up and said, I don't even know why it's still down. We're destroying everything. We've ticked every single box. All of our goals have been smashed. We keep raising guidance. What the heck? Even Noto is slightly ticked off, and that dude is cool as a cucumber. But I think that SoFi is definitely a place where I believe it has the most to win in either scenario. I guess those are just my thoughts. I feel like no one's really talking about how much SoFi is in a position to win in the case of a in the case of a downturn in the economy. Everyone's talking about, rate cuts are good. Economy going good. That's good for SoFi. I think that in the case of even a black swan event or whatever, SoFi stands to win. Whether or not that will offset my current losses, okay, I'm not losing that much on Spire Global, but whether just the mental aspect of it, of dropping from $10. First of all, it was $15, then it dropped to 12, then it dropped to 10, then it dropped to I think 6 something, and just like, what have I done with my life? But I don't know. Just again, take everything I say with a grain of salt. This is just my opinion. Don't listen to the people that are like, this is your last chance to buy SoFi. SoFi is going to $24 to $50 to $2 million. Even in my scenario where there is a recession, if there's a single bank that goes down, you best believe that there's going to be a bank run on at least a few other banks. And then you best believe that people are going to take their money out of banks, right? And then mainstream media or whatever, they're just going to ram SoFi and throw that into the rest of the garbage that is the other over leveraged, over risky banks, right? And then SoFi is going to fall again. That's my opinion again. Maybe it goes up and it just stays there forever. Again, the world just has a way of spiting me. So I think that there's always an opportunity, even if there isn't dollar cost average up, is not a bad idea for a company that's good, right? As long as it's excelling and it's currently excelling more and more and more, and you believe in the long-term future of a company, there's no problem with buying with dollar cost averaging up. You're increasing your cost basis, but you're also increasing your cost basis in a good company that will be worth more in the future, right? So it's never too late to buy a good company. It's always too early to buy a bad company. And there's oftentimes it's too early to buy a good company, right? I bought SoFi when it was IPO-y. I bought it at $20 once. I bought it at 17, 15, 12, 13, 1, every number in between 4 and 20. Did I buy 20? No, just 4 and 20. 420. Nice. Every single number between 420, I bought it. Before 4 and 20, I bought it. So just don't listen to the people that are just like trying to like just shift momentum in the stock. I don't know if they're desperate. I don't know what's happening, but just invest because it's a good company, because you did your due diligence. Don't invest just because Joe Blow told you to. Don't invest just because they said this is an opportunity of a lifetime, right? Don't invest because this is the last opportunity, your last chance to do whatever. Even if you miss the boat, there's how many stocks are there? There's 3 million other stocks. The 3 million other boats, all with like. And then I'm sure out of those, there's at least 2 other good companies. I kid. But yeah, those are just my thoughts. Some thoughts on Spire Global. I still don't know why they haven't given any update. Although I will say today's spike in price is quite peculiar, especially on a day when the entire market was down. I think that someone knows something. Maybe they're going to file soon. I wouldn't be surprised if within the next day or two that they file, or at least they signal when they're next when they're actually going to give their earnings report. But what was I gonna say? I talked about Jerome Powell. I talked about Jackson Hole, right? What I think is going to happen. I talked about SOFI Technologies. These are just my random updates on what I'm currently talking about on the channel. There's a few other stocks, namely Rocket Lab, which has been like super nice for selling covered calls just because of the IV love. ASTS. Yeah, I'm an idiot. Okay, I sold covered calls at 5, but I'm not even gonna vote gone. Covered calls are not always the best idea ever. Still kicking myself for that. Anyways, yeah, super random to talk. Just an update on what I think about current events. I was hoping that there'd be some update for Spire Global, but there hasn't been. Current events on SOFI Technologies, especially with the recent run up, and also with just like the current hype around like SOFI Technologies just all over the internet, and currently talking about just why the Qs dropped so suddenly today. Yeah, that's it. Have a good one.